I've seen, and I've seen a lot of cops. I've seen a lot of lawyers pull out all the stops. I've seen a lot of children with their parents in their hands. There's a lot of women who refuse to understand. And I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. You see it in the papers, you read it every day. The riots and the fires going on in South LA. The muggers and the government, they're all wanting the same thing. They take all your money with every spring. And I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. Take me. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. 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 Guitar Players Planet.
Down by the water, maybe I'm a son, maybe I'm a daughter when the music man calls. That's when I gotta play. Never had. I'm burning with hate, with love. Spin around. 'Cause as a boy I had a dream. Carry it with me today. Yes, I do. When the world stops spinning around, I'll be rocking.
Sunny skies, the smell of palm tree air. Looking back, I could never feel fair. The way the music has touched my soul, the way that the sound holds its control. But I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the land of the new. Oh, na 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 na. Seems to me that I have lost my friend. Got the sunset off the highway again. Then I get lost on a long summer day. I must go back before it's too late. You're afraid, you're feeling alone. Time and space can never unfold. The holidays can ring in your fear. The ghostly embrace can only mean tears. And I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back for land of blue. Oh, na 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 na. Sitting at the lake, I'm feeling confused, but I had my guitar, so I played this blues. But I'm afraid, what might be true, that I might never be back again. Seems to me that I've lost my friend. Got the sunset off the highway again. Then I get lost on a long summer day. I must be back before it's too late. Before it's too
Someone to take me down at night. Someone to make my day. New revelation fills my soul. Oh, I can waste away. You distracting my attention, you're all that's on my mind. You, not looking for perfection, but you're too hard to find. Now the first night is coming, and I know what to do. You know that nothing feels sweeter than someone I need to taste your life again. I need a rendezvous. New revelation just feel my soul beginning and ends with you. Distracting my attention, you're all that's on my mind. You, not looking for perfection, but you're too hard to find. Now the first night is coming, and I know what to do, yeah. You know that nothing feels sweeter than someone else, yeah. Now the first night is coming, and I know what to do, yeah. She knows that nothing feels sweeter than someone else. Yeah, alone it seems funny that I'm in love with you, yeah. You know that nothing feels sweeter than someone else. Yeah, 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 you. Oh, you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Oh, you. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Oh, you. Oh, you.
I'm feeling high, my little lady. I'm gonna take it to the other side. I'm feeling strong, my little lady. I'm gonna keep her moving on. I'm gonna run.
There we go. We'll just do it that way. And we're back. Awesome. How's it going, everybody? We are live again. I just want to make sure we got audio here. Yep, and we do. And I raised the volume a little bit this time, guys. So if it's too loud on in YouTube land, please let me know, because I bumped up the volume on Melon. So hopefully it's not as kind of fading in and fading out like it used to be. So welcome to our first member presentation night, and the first victim of 2023 is Mr. Josh Kovach. Everybody knows Josh. He was actually on our Astropalooza as well earlier. In December. And yeah, smash that like button, please. We got 22 people watching. Hit it up. Help us out. Help everybody. So before we get started, let's do the sponsors real quick, and we'll take care of that. And all right, so sponsors. So for those of you that are new to the show, those of you that are old to the show, you know the deal. We do have some corporate sponsors, and we have a ton of member sponsors as well that I like to recognize. The first one is Woodland Hills Camera and Telescopes, who give us gift certificates all the time and money to kind of give away for your next order at Woodland Hills. I think our next giveaway is next Wednesday for them. So if you're not registered for any of these giveaways, please go to www.astroworldweb.com and sign up for all the giveaways. It is they're free, and it's just free stuff for everybody. So Woodland Hills, thank you so much. Followed by our Red Giant level sponsors, Prima Luce Lab, Camera Concepts, and Optolong. Hopefully Monday, I will be hearing from Optolong regarding the stuff that they will give us for 2023, because they've been on the Lunar New Year. They've been off till tomorrow, but really means Monday. But so that being said, looking forward to seeing what kind of goodies they give us as well. Camera Concepts gives us free money also to give away. We just gave up one last week, $50 gift certificate from them. So thank you so much to all of them. And of course, at our super giant level, still reigning champs, Masters of Pixinsight and IP4AP, just gave away a free year subscription to the Ring doorbell. And I guess is that me? That's me, I guess. Yep. Sorry, doggies. Masters of Pixinsight and IP4AP give us free classes, and we give them away every week. Tonight we're giving away a free Masters of Pixinsight class. And thank you so much to them. Astro, shut up. Oh, hold on a second.
I was just talking about how my dog was going to be barking tonight.
Close the door. That's the pizza. The pizza's here, I think. So, so thank you to our Off the Rails members, Sean and Bob. Thank you so much for being crazy enough to be our first two Off the Rails members. And if you want to become a member, please go on our Patreon website, AstroWorld TV at patreon.com. And our Quasar members, John Gambali and Dr. Haskari. Black Hole, Charity, George, and Mike. Red Giant member, I believe we had an upgrade, which I didn't put in there. Mark Muratori. Thank you so much for upgrading to the Red Giant member. And main sequence members, ton of them. And Protostar members. Thank you so much to everybody. It means a lot, and it helps us get more stuff for you and help the show become better. And sooner or later, if we get 10,000 subscribers on Patreon, maybe we could do it for a living. So there you go. So last Wednesday, if you missed it, we had Craig Stocks going over his Pixinsight workflow. Really outstanding. Showed us a lot of stuff about Photoshop and what it's capable of doing. If you're ever interested about Photoshop and what it does and what it can do to make your pictures even better, check out last week's show. He does a lot of great stuff for Photoshop. It was unbelievable. February 1st, my birthday. I got Glass Tiger himself, Wayne Parker, going to be on. From Skyshed Observatories. He's going to be pumping his Skyshed Pod S, and he's going to be giving, hopefully, weather permitting, he'll be giving us a little tour of one. So we'll see. Steve Malia is next on February 8th, Starfield Optics. Really good scopes coming out of Canada over there. Sean Nielsen's been doing some really good testing. If you want to see what they could do, go check out Sean's page at visibledark.ca, and he has them posted all over the place. In between there, we just found out, right, Pete? A live from Winter Star Party. Richard Wright is going to be on February 15th, as long as we can get everything settled with the internet connection. So be on the lookout for that. So we'll be having somebody live at Winter Star Party. A lot of fun. Followed by Bob Denny for his second return to AstroWorld TV, talking a little bit about ASCOM Alpaca and what kind of new stuff is up with ASCOM. And March 1st, Astrophotography Tool Evo will be back for his second visit as well. Haven't seen him for a while, so it's going to be fun to see him. And April 5th, we have Warren Keller. So he's going to be back. His first, believe it or not, his first solo show on AstroWorld TV. So that's a lot of fun. And come along down, and we on other social media platforms, Discord, Twitter, Twitch, whatever else is out there. So awesome. That being said, that was a little bit long with the guests, but that being said, we got Josh here. Yep, there. Wow. I spelt your AstroBin name right. Josh has been the bane of my spelling errors for like years. Spelling his last name wrong, spelling his AstroBin handle wrong. I mean, I don't even know what's going on. But Josh, I did it right this time. Welcome,
Nice.
Welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, thanks. Glad to be here.
Yeah. So I know, Eric, you got to do your little thing. You got to do your little thing. It's become part of the show now.
What little thing are you talking about, man? There's nothing little. I do nothing little.
Nothing.
I go
zero.
big or I go home. I'm from the south side of Chicago. We go big or go home.
If you're going to lose, you lose big in Chicago.
You lose big. But you know what? Can't lose? Doing us a favor and smashing that like button. Get down, get up, get your mouse, get whatever, wherever you're at. Do me a favor. Let me see here on YouTube. We got 28 people that say they're watching. I've only seen thumbs up. I want to see 28. We got 28 people watching. I want to see 28 thumbs up. Help us out. Help the show out. Give us a thumbs up. If you're on YouTube, we would really appreciate that. It helps out the algorithm. If you're on Facebook, do us another favor. Like and also share to public. Share to your friends' feeds so they can know about AstroWorld. If you're on Twitter, do us a favor, retweet the show, everything else. If you're on Discord, get a hold of all your Discord friends. If you're on, Twitch, whatever it is, however you're consuming AstroWorld right now, one, we appreciate it and thank you. Second thing we want you to do is let your friends know by either hitting like, smashing that thumbs up, everything you need to do, whatever you need to do, let's get it done. Let's do it. Let's have some fun on Friday night. And, we're going to have some fun here with Josh and everybody else. And let's just get the party started.
And do me a favor. Don't hit the like button twice. Because if you hit the like button twice and you got that trigger finger, it takes it away.
It's right. You know what? Yeah, don't. Yeah, because like, I like, then I unlike. No. We want to keep it. You want to keep your liking it. So help us out. We would really, really appreciate it. Now we got 30 people watching. I want to see a total of 30 thumbs up. Come on now.
You know what's funny? I asked for 50 votes for Picture of the Week last week. Last time I checked was like 2 days ago. We were at 53.
Why do we?
So somebody's got their whole family voting, I think. That's and that's fine. That's okay.
Get your whole family, get your first cousin, second cousin, third covers, twice removed. Don't matter. Just get them on astroworldweb.com. Get them over, to check out the Astro Picks of the Week. So we can pick out, and select our images of the week. So we can get that image of the month and get it on the next calendar for 2024.
I'm sorry. I just checked right now. 73.
Wow.
70.
Whoa.
I forgot to vote. I'm doing that right now.
What's that?
That's what I'm doing about.
I forgot to vote, so I'm doing that now.
Yeah, everybody, if you're on and you haven't voted yet, vote because it's open for another 1 hour and 17 minutes. So
come on now, don't be bashful.
Don't be bashful.
Matter of fact, I forgot to vote too.
This is like The Voice and American Idol and all that jazz. The lines are open. The lines are open right now. Come on.
And
Some really good entries this week.
I
It's a
just
tough
voted.
call.
I forgot to vote too, so I just voted.
I'm split between two of them.
That's it. I'm going to AstroWorldWeb.com right now, and I'm checking out these. Check out these images. I want to see what everybody's talking about. We got 73, 74, maybe 75 now in here. Nice. I want to know what's up.
There's some really good ones.
They're all
really good.
They're all really good. It's tough to pick.
There's two that are just like really piquing my interest. That I'm not gonna.
That's okay. Flip a coin.
We got an hour. We got an hour to absorb this information from Josh and watch these.
I went with the first one.
These images.
Check.
There you go. All right, cool. So let's get down to it, Josh. How's it going? What you been up to? What's going on in the snowy Michigan area?
Yeah, it's been cloudy. I think I've had like 2 clear-ish nights since Christmas time.
Guess what I got tonight? I got a clear night. Rain? I got a clear night.
Oh no! Nice. Tonight we're getting snowstorms. We might have a clearing in early February where I might be able to catch the comet like at its closest approach.
There you go.
I managed to get like an hour. Managed to get like an hour and 15 minutes, I think, on the comet before it started doing really cool stuff. So it was just kind of a blob of glow.
Unfortunately, it looks like I am out of luck with the comet, at least at its closest. It looks like the next 3 days after today are for me. And so maybe I could get a birthday shot of the comet, maybe February 1st, 2nd, 3rd, something like that. It'll still be there. It's just going to be slowly diminishing.
I was going to check the weather. I have no idea what I did with my phone. It's somewhere around. It's looking like maybe next week I might get a night that's semi-cloudy. But it might be enough that there's a little bit of clearing that it would be worth it to actually put the camera out.
Yeah, I got.
And if nothing else, try it with binoculars and see if I can get some sucker holes out there.
I got the AP scope outside. I'm doing my hopefully. Why is it saying slewing complete? Why? Like my thing's in my ear. I'm imaging as we're doing. So I got audio cues. I got the Australian Nina in my ear. Some Australian girl is talking.
That's a cool feature.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It tells me when things slews or if a star, a star lost or something, whatever. But
yeah, here in the northwest Illinois, it's been snowing. We just got. I think we got about maybe an inch or two. This afternoon and morning and afternoon, and I spent half my lunch break clearing out the snow.
Yeah.
And and now we're we're trying to get past this. We're in the winter weather advisory and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's
starting to warm up, and I'm sure it's gonna. It started to warm up. It's at like 1 degree C now. It was like -4 earlier today.
I have no idea what that means.
It's probably all going to refreeze above freezing and below freezing. So
I know 0 is 32, and that's it. Once it goes away from 0.
I changed all my stuff to Celsius when I started needing to like pay attention to it in Celsius with my camera.
Yeah,
to know like what temperature I was capturing. When I was using the DSLR. I've actually disconnected the DSLR from the setup, and I now have a camera that I don't know how to use for regular stuff. But I've got a ASI 183 MC Pro.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
It's
Yeah.
cooled now, and I don't have to take darks all the time. It's nice.
Yes. You know.
The amp glow, though, the darks don't get rid of it completely.
Yes, it does.
It's still there if you stretch it wrong.
If
So,
you stretch it
still
wrong,
working on
yeah. If you go crazy with the
Yeah.
stretch, you'll start seeing like this little dark kind of weird thing on the right side. But you know, we've been dealing with amp glow for a long time, and if you just make the background nice, and you know, if you don't crush your black so much, you'll be fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
it's
I've had like 2 nights where I can shoot with that camera so far.
Yeah, it's you know, for an entry level camera that fits the Red Cat like that, it really is a good sampling rate, or it's a really good match for that. You know, you could spend 2480 and get the 2600, you know, the mono, or 1900 and get the color, whatever it is, 20, you know, I forget what it is, but you know, but to get something that samples well with it, you know, 2600, awesome, unbelievable camera. You know, but it doesn't have amp glow. It's got really low read noise. 183 has amp glow, like you mentioned, but it's also $1,200 cheaper than
right, and that's with like Christmas money and stuff. You know, that's what I was able to pull.
Hey, there you go. There you go. That's what I have.
I'm all about doing like the gradual upgrades. So like I started with an Ioptron Skyguider Pro mount and a Red Cat and the cheapest new DSLR I could find. So the T7, and this thing's been great. It's been really nice to use. And so I've been like slowly trying to like figure out ways that I could upgrade those things. And you know, last year I shelled out and got the was it the EQM 35?
Yep.
For just like a week before they bumped the prices. Like I got really lucky on that one.
Yeah, well,
and that one's big enough to hold my Z130. Like it's just a cheap Dob, but it's pretty nice, cheap tabletop Dob.
That's okay.
Yeah, I can mount that and try it for Galaxy season.
There you go. And look, Gideon Sanders. I haven't seen him in a while. He's back.
Hey, Gideon. I'm back.
Hey.
Hi. So if you see some things pop up on the screen, that is some stuff.
Yeah.
I know Dan with glasses and a haircut, and he's looking distinguished and all that, man. He's looking studious. He's like a professor.
I keep on telling everybody, I'm like that guy that comes on the golf course with the $1,000 club, you know, $1,000 driver, you know, dressed to the tee with a remote control club bag that rolls with me, gets up to the tee, takes 3 perfect swings and shanks the drive. That's me. so, but we're not here about me talking about golf. We're here to see how Josh does some things, and he's got a little presentation regarding asteroids, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
nothing's going to hit us, right?
See.
There's no planet killer.
No. I don't have any news.
Don't look up.
I also don't know how to report when you find asteroids. So like I tried to figure that out.
So what you're saying is, even if you found an asteroid coming at us, nobody would know about it because you couldn't tell anyone.
Like I might figure out how to call the number. Other people have done like demos on how to like submit stuff to the Minor Planetary Center. That's not what this is. I don't know how to do that. I still haven't figured it out.
You'll get that.
What I am gonna, well, I've got a few things, but like mainly after a while, or at least hold on, looking at the chat here too. So back in, I'm trying to think of when the actual date was. Let's switch over to this. It was, who knows? I'll figure it out. So there was a couple years ago, or like a year and a half, something like that. There was a transit that someone brought up in one of the global star parties with Explorer Alliance, or yeah, Explorer Alliance does, and they said that. What?
Sorry, that's not Scott.
What happened?
Oh,
That's not
you
Scott.
got Pete and Scott.
You got them mixed.
Oh, jeez.
Good Lord, man.
How'd that happen?
Do you know who the man is?
How did that happen? I apologize. Go ahead. Don't listen to Eric, Josh. You know this happens on the show.
Okay. Yeah. So actually, I'm gonna just play this like short little video, no audio. But I put together after I captured this transit. It was a transit of Juno in front of N10 that someone had brought up in one of those star parties, and I was like, I'm gonna try that, see what I can do. And so, let me pull this video up here real quick.
And I'll make you
to it.
I'll put you on the big side. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm playing a YouTube video through YouTube or onto YouTube. So the compression is probably gonna be crap, but here we'll go ahead and play this. I did this. There's audio to this if you go to the actual video, but so like I saw that was happening. I'm like, let's do this. Figuring out. So you see M10 and Juno where they're going to be transiting that night, and that's pretty high in the sky for me. It's easy to capture. But then I actually put it together into. Yeah, there's. It's better with the music. But yeah, here's the capture, and you can see real light down there, little bit of movement.
There
I think
it
we've
is.
shown this, but like that's the movement right there. Starting point and on down.
That's
And
awesome.
so this was like I don't think I debayered any of this stuff. I just took it and like processed it as a short video here. And I think to do that, all I did, let me it's on repeat. Just some controls here real quick. All I did for that was to use Blink. Oh my god, let's turn off the screen sharing so that doesn't happen. Okay, so wait. Let me get the controls here. Okay, I can't see if you can see what I'm seeing right. So
I see your
you see
Pixinsight.
Pixinsight?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, all I did for that, and it's really easy to do just a plain animation of those using Blink. So you just open up your, let me see if I'll just do my Masingo ones. Wait. I think all you got to do is take like the registered stuff. And forgive me, I don't have all of this figured out. Is that right? No, I want registered. Registered. I'm just going to take a quick short bit of these, but there's like 1,200 some images in this one. One recommendation, if you do decide that you want to try and capture a transit like this, take longer than 30 seconds of exposure because it will take you forever to do the processing. I think I actually had my computer for this one that I'm going to be showing a little more on. It was running for about 2 weeks straight, where I just like couldn't use my computer because it was processing all of these frames individually. I should have used taken shorter.
That's
anyway,
funny you said that because I did 30 seconds of the Andromeda Galaxy.
Yeah.
And I did, I think, 1,200 frames. And it crashed Pixinsight because it couldn't do all the lines of the picture to integrate.
Yep. And that one of Juno, I think it was about, I want to say it was about 7 hours of exposure. And I didn't like take 30-second exposures. I wanted, like, for this one that I was doing, I wanted to get well, I wasn't actually trying to capture an asteroid on this one that I'm showing. I should have taken shorter. Anyway, I'm gonna, while that's loading, I can't actually show you the other thing, so hold on. Sorry. This is on my my hard drive disk too, so it's just taking a little bit longer to actually read the stuff. 30 frames, you'd think it would have been a little quicker. I think it usually is.
That's only 30 frames?
I think I only picked 32 frames or something like that, but I'm just trying to show like how you can do a short animation of like some of your frames just so you can see like if you have movement in there, right? And so there's a little trick. Okay, so that's not going to be a great one. So right, you can animate basically in here, right? But there's this little movie thing down here where it lets you crop and create a video. And for a while, like I think this only had like FFmpeg in it, which is a like command line tool for creating images and or creating images and video. But you have to give it like the whole path, otherwise it won't actually work. So if you're on a Mac or a Linux machine, you can like brew install or apt-get install the FFmpeg stuff, and then you just have to give it the actual path to it. And like there's not a browse to here, so it's not obvious to do that. I'm not sure how to do it on Windows, but I got that Lenovo, so maybe I'll end up trying to figure out how to do that. But yeah, so it just lets you output, like it'll output the crop of whatever you have highlighted in here and put that into your directory. It'll spit out a bunch of PNGs and then create a GIF out of them. And that's to do it nice and simple without any extra stuff. As long as you got your stuff registered, you can output just like that. But I'm going to go into some advanced tips on how to do some of that, or how to make some of that stuff a little bit more, I don't know, better looking than the just gray.
Yeah, but that's a pretty cool tip, just to get that motion going to see if there's anything there. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm going to go into some backstory now on this. I was working on this image, and I've reprocessed this recently. This image, I was working on the California Nebula. And as I was kind of going through this, I kept zooming in. And there was a time, like a year ago or so, when you zoomed in on a picture in Pixinsight, it would always zoom in like directly to the center instead of like where you had your cursor. And so like I kept on zooming in to this area over and over again while I was processing to check on like the noise levels and everything, colors, whatnot. And eventually I noticed like, hey, what the heck is this? This little thing right here, that little line. And I thought, oh my God, did I discover an asteroid? Spoiler alert, I did not. But I discovered an asteroid in my picture, which was really cool. I don't know why this keeps jumping in front. Yeah, it was really awesome. And I was trying to figure out like, what in the world is this thing? And, I tried to do like using astrometry.net or, I don't know. I tried a bunch of different ways of like figuring out what is this asteroid, or is it an asteroid, or, anything. And I did a whole like I tried for like a couple of weeks probably just trying to go through like the documentation of how to like submit something to the minor planetary center, and like I just couldn't figure it out. It wasn't. They were asking too many questions that I didn't have exact answers for. And so I don't know. Maybe there are other videos that people have done on how to actually submit stuff to that. So I'm not going to go into that here. What I am going to do though is tell you how I figured out what this was. And actually, I did this for MX Quadro Bob recently, back in November. He was asking about a little picture right here that had a similar little line in it. And through some of these techniques is how I figured out figured out what he was actually looking at. And it ended up being 584 Semiramis, or however you might pronounce that. So what I ended up, let's see here. What I ended up learning how to do ultimately is there's a really cool script in here called annotate image under render. And you can use this for a bunch of stuff. You can make it for, or use it to show your grids, your constellations, any major named stars, planets. There's an asteroids button in here. I didn't see that for a while, but I did eventually learn how to use this script, right? And so one of the tricks with this script is there's, depending on what you have selected here, this constellation board, like the properties down under it change. So there's a whole bunch of stuff. And if you're going to use this, you also do need to have your picture properly registered, or
Okay.
like with the image solution. So you can do, that's image analysis and image solver. And so this one here, I did this before the show to make sure I had it all correct. But like, you need your accurate time and date. You can search for your target, which is what I had to do because this was before I had the ASI error, like including this information on every photo. But like, I just searched for NGC 1499. It'll show up with California Nebula, so I hit OK. And then make sure your focal length is right and your pixel size is right. And then you can hit OK and it'll solve it, right? If you're working with, if you already have that, if you're using like ASI Air or Nino or something that puts that information into your FITS files, the right ascension and declination, you don't really need to do that. Like, you open it and it kind of knows where you are. But from there, though, you can go to the render and annotate image. And on here, like if you just do, what's default here, you can show a preview and it'll show you something like this. Zoom in a little bit here. So it'll tell you what your major stuff is. This looks a lot like what's on AstroBin, because AstroBin actually uses this now.
Okay.
The Pixinsight and AstroBin, like, we're working together to set up some stuff. And yeah, the advanced plate solve, I think, is what actually gives you the annotations that you end up seeing on AstroBin. So in here, though, there are the different ones. And so you can do planets, asteroids, depending on what you want to figure out. And I figured out, like, oh, I can just, if you select that, and then there's a bunch of labeling, different changes you can make. Sometimes it'll print really small, so you might want to bump the text up. But you go in here, boom, if you zoom right in on that thing, that little line tells you exactly what you're looking at. 760 Masinga. And then you do a little bit of a Wikipedia search. It was discovered in like 19 or 8. I don't remember off the top of my head. So
Yeah.
this is exactly the same, well, almost exactly the same technique as I did when I was figuring out what was in Bob's picture, except he didn't give me anything, like, I didn't have dates. I think I ended up getting dates from him. And we jump out back to that. So all I had was the low quality picture for screenshot of an undebayered image, like, compressed inside of Discord here. But I went to, I don't have this up yet, so let me pull it. Astrometry.net, right?
Yep.
And I got to do the Nova thing first. Oops. Nova dot. Okay. And so, let me see, I got to sign in to find mine. real quick. Is that right? Hang on. All right, hold on. Let me stop my share for a minute.
That Google
And pull up
astrometric
that.
solution.
Well,
That's what it is.
yeah. Well, it's in there, and I already did the plate solve, so I don't want to have to go through
Yep.
do it all again. So just a second here while and I need my phone for this. Hold on. It's all coming full circle. One sec.
No, but I actually just pulled up 760 Masinga.
Yep.
Feel like I'm on The Big Bang Theory and I'm Sheldon. Masinga. But it's pretty cool, you know. What he was able that Josh found, was able to capture it. It's really cool.
Yeah, that is cool. And I have a friend that does this in South Carolina. He's an asteroid hunter, and he sits there. That's really all he does is he just scans skies and looks for little lines like Josh found in his pictures, and then he doesn't. He'll get the big ones, that people know that are, but he literally just goes through his pictures like with a fine-tooth comb and is waiting to pull out that pearl, and sooner or later he's gonna find one. Sooner or later.
Yeah.
He's got Bortle 4 skies, I think, in the Carolinas. He's got a I think it's an 11-inch edge on a Paramount ME2 mount, and just ridiculous, skies down there. So compared to anything's better compared to Long Island. Let's call it how it is. But
all right, I'm back now.
all right.
Found my phone. It was in my coat pocket from my walk. I thought I'd pull it out. All right, so I put this into astrometry here, and it came up with it knows what's here, right? It's got a couple of major stars, IC 2355. No idea on this, and I tried many ways to try and figure out if astrometry.net could figure out what that is, but it doesn't. Nothing built into that. And then I was trying to figure out can Pixinsight actually plate solve this? It probably can, but I wasn't able to really figure that out. But what's nice is I was able to download the fit. Oh, let's see what else. Oh yeah, I would have to reprocess it plate solve it in Pixinsight, which was proving to be difficult because I didn't have the actual date or anything like that of the observation, and Pixinsight tends to need that. But what I was able to do was get the new fixed image off of this. You can just download this thing. And I'll save it in here real quick. And there you can open that. And then it'll have all the plate solving information already in there for you. So that was new image that fits. So from here, I can do the render, annotate image. And let's see, can we get an initial solve on it? It seems to understand what's there. Can we turn on asteroids for it? No, didn't pick that up. I think what I end up needing is what did I do? I think you need the date. And I think Bob actually did give me the date on Discord. Asked for it. It's down here someplace. 2:17 a.m. in New England, November 10th, 2:17 a.m. And so we go 2022, 11, 10, and at 2:17 a.m., which would have been, and that's, so you got to put this in as UTC. So add 4 hours, I think. Right? 2:17 a.m. So it's the same day, but like 6 a.m. UTC. 6:17. Let's try and get as accurate as we can. And then once we have that, boom, right there. It's not right in the right place here, but it tells us
There you go.
what's there. And I've been thinking maybe I got my offset wrong here. So if we bump it down a little bit, do we get the right target? It's around there.
That's all right. There you go.
We're pretty close. And it's the only major asteroid that's showing up in there. Now, what if you found something that's smaller than the first? I'm not sure what the, well, this is 343 objects, so I'm surprised that it actually has 584 and 760 in it. But there are some that are a lot smaller than that. And so let's see, how do we figure out what we're looking at when it's not one of the major, earliest discovered asteroids?
Yeah.
So there are ways. And what you got to do is, and I don't know if you've noticed, but on Pixinsight's website, there is, in their software distribution system area, there's a section here for asteroids. And these are actually relatively small downloads, as opposed to, your whole star catalogs that are like several gigs each. But each one of these has numbered asteroids from 1 to 5,000, 5,001 to 10, 100,000 looks like, and so on and so on and so on, and just each like 10,000 asteroids each, 5,000 each. So it'll go pretty far down.
Wow.
And it looks like they renew these every once in a while. Like they're good through this. If you download these ones now, they're good through 2024, basically. When presumably they'll put out new catalogs. But you download these, and then you can go into Pixinsight here, and there's a custom XEF or XEPH files. So once you've downloaded those, you load these in here. Or, there's a directory search. I didn't realize that before. That's cool. Because I was just manually putting these in. But if you have more than 3 of them, you probably want to get all of them that are in that area. And where are they? I think mine are just here in the photography group. And so might be able to get something a bit more fleshed out. That's searching through each one of these files or ephemeris files here. That's cool. I learned something new now. Because before, what I did was I actually had, because it only fit 3, and so I had there's 12 of them or something, and so I had 4 separate XEs or custom XEPH. But now, if we look in here, we can see what other asteroids were actually in that picture.
That's crazy.
At that time.
It's that many asteroids in there.
Yeah, there's tons of them out there. And so, and then you can, if you zoom in, maybe you can see if you actually caught any of their, transits. This one, they're pretty dark, but you might actually see some of the light from them in there. Now, I'm just hitting preview here, but you can hit OK, and it'll actually generate that image. I'm gonna copy that in case I want it some more. And it's going to go through this again because it wasn't saved again, I guess. You should cache that. But once it's done, you'll have an actual image that you can then, save, output, whatever you want to do with. And there we go.
Wow.
And so And that's on, I don't even think that's, I think that's using this image, but the data from the other one.
Okay.
So it's using, what it's doing is it's not necessarily seeing the things that are in the picture, but it is using the coordinates, your right ascension and declination, and the date and time. And it's telling you what it knows is there based on the whole catalog of their movements and everything like that. So now I'm going to tell a little story of what I did after I discovered what that actually was. And well, actually, no. I hadn't discovered what it was yet, I think. Maybe I think what I was reading with the Minor Planetary Center. You needed at least 2 nights of observations, and so I did this first one like November or October 1st or 2nd, I think, and then the next clear night that I had, it was the only like clear night that I'd had for
A
like
while,
weeks
right?
after too.
Yeah, we were
Yeah,
talking about
like
that
I just
before,
got
man.
this
It's been
one
bad.
opening. Yeah, I got this one opening, and so what I did was I was trying to figure, where did it go? Let's figure out where it went. It's right around here. So what I did, because I'm just trying to ballpark it. I want to make sure that I'm actually going to get this in frame when I do it. So what I did was I took let's see, where is it? I gotta zoom in again. Here we go. So here's a little trick. I use this this little app on the Mac called Pixel Stick that measures thing, and you can put a line on it, right? And then I said that, okay, so that's, how long is this? This is 52 pixels long. Okay. So I'm 10 days after. So if I'm 10 days after, 52 times 10 days is 520, right? Or maybe it was 11. I don't know. I had to do some math on it. But so then what I did was and it's kind of dumb, but then I have to like refigure this. Basically, I just drew a line from the one to the other,
right?
And like tried to estimate where I thought it might be, right?
You would just
Based
follow the
on
trajectory of
the
the
amount of,
line.
well, I get, so it was actually, because it was like, I think this was like 6 or 7 hours of exposure, and so like I tried to figure out, okay, that's how long that was, and based on how long that was and how far it moved in that time, how far would it go, probably after 11 days, right? And so I had to kind of figure that out, and it was, I stretched it out to about where it was going to be. I don't remember the actual number of it, but just trying to ballpark it so that it's not off screen, outside of the bounds of the image. And I was kind of close. It actually ended up being over here because things don't travel in straight lines in space because of gravity. So yeah, it ended up being around this area. Yeah, I was able to like reframe my picture because by then it was going to be not centered, and it might have been outside of the actual framing of it. So, just had to, because I didn't know what it was, I didn't know what its trajectory was going to be, had to try and ballpark that. And then I ended up getting another night of exposure. And ultimately, I put together this little image. Over here. I don't know if I can I do the full size? Yeah, here we go. So this is what I spent 2 weeks on my of my computer working nonstop building. So we can follow, if you look up here in this corner, it shows like a zoomed in area of where it actually was. So when I was looking at it before, I was thinking it was up here somewhere, but it actually ended up being over here.
Okay.
Because of just the motion of everything.
Right.
So down here, we're following that transit motion from this point, or no, where is it? Oh, this point. So you can see how far it's moving on this one. And then up in this corner, it's going from here to wherever. So you can see that movement. And the images aren't great. You know, it's very grainy. I didn't have noise exterminator back then. That might have helped. Might have been able to use blur exterminator on all the frames, something like that. You know, you can see the trees kind of moving through here, some clouds going through, and you actually see some of the images apparently got out of order because it's jumping around here. But what's also, you know, something important that I think I did here was actually having this information down here in the bottom that you can actually pull out from the annotate screen or annotate image scripts, because it's able to put in there's some like predefined information that you can put into it, but there's also you can put any of your fits headers into this.
Okay.
And I will show us how to do that next. So when we do go in and render, or yeah, I'll do it on this one. So this is, I gotta reset this stuff, I think. Hang on. Sorry, I'm just gonna reset. Okay, so, okay, yeah, cool. So there's it's not in there by default, but if you hit the plus button, there's a bunch of extra catalogs. You can go through all sorts of catalogs of these to annotate stuff. So Dan, you were talking about the was ARP galaxy that you'd found through visual, but like if you were taking pictures of it, you could put in an ARP catalog and it would be able to identify those in the picture. Like, I don't know if there's any in here, but let's see. But how I did the text down there is there is a text one. And this one, I have trouble saving the text. Like you can, like if I save the icon for this, it doesn't like to reopen for some reason, and I haven't figured out what the problem is there. So I make sure I copy this over someplace else. So I've got it just in a sticky here.
Got it.
And this is the script. So that's just what I've got in there. And so it's hard to see that. So I'll, can I zoom this?
Yep.
So here's what I've got. So RA is just %RA, declination, %declination, resolution, %resolution. And it actually says this, if you hover over this, it's got a list of like the predefined ones. And then there's also focal length, right? So if you want to use fits headers, you can do %key dash and then whatever the fits header name is. And then so like date of observation, exposure time, that's in seconds. The instrument, like it records mine wrong, so it's the William Optic Redcat. But then this one actually like records. This is the one that shows what the camera I was using is, and then just hard coded my name on it. And so using that, I was able to. Let's just do a quick sample of it on this image, because this is a single frame of it. And so that puts it down there. And you can change styling on these things a little bit. So you can like shrink the text down, put a better background on it, make it like have shadow and stuff. So like the background, I can make it fuchsia if I want. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, I should turn off the other. Yeah, there we go. So it stands out a little bit better. You can make it less transparent, so you don't get this stuff going over it. You can change the order of it. I believe the like the order that these are all in is the order that they get rendered. I could be wrong on that. And so like where they are in the stack and everything. You can change the position. I believe there is maybe I couldn't do shadow. I don't remember. But that's how in this image here, it's showing you like exactly what time, what the position of what I'm looking at is, and it's going, it's going through this. So you'll see December 1st or October 1st, and we're jumping to October 11th at 5, 6, 7, 8, right? And so, and actually the amount of time, the length of the frames that I took were different between those. I did a 60-second and a 30-second, I think, because I realized I was running out of space on my hard drive with the first round of 30 seconds. And so while I was, it'll when you're in that second section, it shows them, it looked like it's moving faster. But I figured I want to, like, if I'm trying to be like scientifically, true to what's happening here, I at least have the documented, what time and how long the exposure was. So even if it looks like it's moving faster, you can see that it's not in this picture. And so there were a lot of things that I did. Yeah, and so there were a lot of things that I had to do to make these pictures like visible, like, because this is something like 12,000 or not 12,000, like over frames though. And like I had to stretch and clean up each one, turn it to color them and do some enhancements and stuff. Tried to like get rid of some noise. Probably, I don't know. I've got a faster computer and stuff now. I might just consider redoing this project, but that's when I learned how to use things like let's see, that down real quick. Image containers are super helpful here because you can load in an entire directory of all of these things. I'm not going to do it here because it's going to be very large.
This just goes to show how much Pixinsight.
It's amazing what it can do. I didn't know any of this stuff, and I learned all of this
did we,
over the course of like a month, just trying to figure out what I was looking at.
Many of us did. It's like, holy cow.
Yeah. But yeah, image containers, that lets you drag a process onto multiple and process multiple images all at the same time. And you can have it go to either just outputting new views or processing in the views in place, depending on how the things, what process you're doing on it. Or it lets, or better yet, what this one did is you can actually have a process container as well. So like if you figure out the steps that you want to have happen on one of these, like give it an auto stretch, give it a dynamic background extraction, or I think I did a, what did I do? Automatic background extraction, because I didn't want to, you can't do dynamic on all of those. Color calibration, like various other bits. There are various other things that I would do now. Like this is my process general stuff now. But back then it was, I think I did local normalization on everything just to get everything with like a similar gradient. Or no, it was the normalized scale gradient, just to try and get everything kind of into the same like brightness and gradient and stuff, try and clean all that stuff up. And then automatic background extraction, automatic color calibration, because everything was registered, so it all had the same, or all had the, for PCC, it had the plate solve already on it. And then like an auto stretch of some level or another. I probably now I would also probably do a what do you call it, linear fit, to like make sure things are the same, roughly the same brightness when you do it. But I think I figured out like a general, like I basically I figured it out on one, and then I went to the History Explorer, and when you go over to there, like if I look at this, let's take a look at this one. Load History Explorer. Didn't I just close that? Okay. So what you can do is you can drag this over, and then you've got this whole thing, all of these processes, and then you can drag those over onto this whole thing. like this, which has nothing in it, but just drag it onto it. See that little check mark that says it's okay to do that.
Yeah.
And then it will go through and it will do that whole thing. And if you, on your image container, if you have the output directory set up, it will actually put those things out there. You can set what you want these things to be. So it'll say file name, date time, and then like if you want date time, I guess. And then you can add, you know, what do you processed or something like that. Right. Put in whatever. So the ampersand means it's a variable. It's going to put whatever that variable is in this. There's, you know, help. Oh, wow, that's pretty extensive. All the different things that you can put into it. A lot of times, all you want to do is take the file name and, you know, add a little extension to it, just like all the other, you know, batch processing things do. So they'll put like CA at the end of it, or one of the things I don't remember.
In total,
yeah,
how in doing and learning about these image containers and the processes overall, how long has it been taking you to understand and figure all of this out? Because I'm going to be honest with you, Josh. This no kidding, this is amazing, but this is like holy smokes.
It took a long time.
Yeah, I'm sure, because a lot of this is
even
like
longer because my computer was so slow and I was processing so many images at a time, and it would get through. I was through like the first week of processing, and I actually messed it up, and I had to go back and redo it all, and it was just like, oh no! But I was like, I'm gonna figure this out, and so like, yeah, I mean, pretty much I had to like, I didn't know about image containers. I didn't know about, you know.
Yeah, I agree with Corin. I mean, this is fascinating. It's like, holy cow.
Yeah. I didn't know any of that stuff. I think on Cloudy Nights, I saw a couple things. There was, I ended up going down some dead ends with like scripts that were there for like, oh, here's one. There was a batch ABE automatic background extraction and batch whatever. Like these weren't built in. These were other ones that I downloaded or like modified a little bit to try and make them work. You know, and I wanted to like add extra fits headers into things, and there's not really anything that I found that modifies fits headers without like being destructive of what's already in them.
Yep.
Right.
And so like I went down, like I spent probably a few days trying to figure out like whether or not I can add some like fits information to each image, because I wanted some of that information to show up on each frame through the annotation stuff, right? And so like even with the, what do you call it, with that render annotation, you know, you can put that into, like that's how I did this, as I put this into my process container, and so that it would output, you know, there was an annotated step for all of, or version of all of my images.
Yeah, I gotta agree with
so
Max. You know, he's saying it's amazing what Pixinsight can do. I wish I knew it better. I think a lot of people, just off of what your discoveries here, Josh, I mean, wish we could know more about, you know, because this is, you know, because it makes me feel like what we do just in general as astro imagers, like our, you know, like I can only speak for myself. I barely scratch maybe 5% of what Pixinsight can do. You know, it makes it seem that way. Like you only use, you know, like what, you know, like 10% of your brain. They say. I've only scratched like.
I barely use what's actually available in Pixinsight.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, really, 10%? You give me too much credit. But it's like this is like wow. I mean, what I do with this stuff, what I do with PI, and you know, it's like I only can scratch 5%. This is nuts.
Pixinsight has so much stuff. Forget about the processes, the scripts that are in there that are built by other people that are just tucked in there. They're like little. Mm-hmm. If you sit there and like kind of, you know, just try and learn one at a time, it's a lot. It's like trying to learn everything that like even Microsoft Word. Try and learn everything that Word could do. You know, it's impossible.
Like I think I knew like ephemeris was like the thing that meant moving, you know, things moving in space, right? And so like I saw, where was that? The ephemeris one, and like ephemeris, okay. What does this do? There's nothing about what this thing does, how it works. Like I don't know.
And that's
So,
one of that.
No clue,
That's
right?
one of the negatives, I would say. You know, on Pixinsight, because you can get so many other developers and so many other people adding in scripts and everything, but they don't. Unfortunately, they don't provide either they provide very little or no information on what some of these scripts that they have pushed out into their repositories, what they can actually do. Which is
I think I actually tried to bump into writing scripts for this too, like just writing like how do I open a file and close a file. Like that was I don't know, it was difficult. I did run through, like I think I tried to write a Fitz header script in here, but like I'm a programmer professionally, so like I want to do this, but like this is a really not a great IDE to be working in. Like it's really hard to just there's very little that makes me comfortable writing code in this thing. And so I would love it if there was a way to, I don't know, maybe it's something I'll spend a little time on someday, but just being able to open it up in like an editor that I'm comfortable using, like Atom here, or code, VSS Code, or something that can highlight the tools, the libraries that are available to write scripts in, would be really nice. So I don't know. I've thought about writing some scripts. I've tried writing a few scripts as part of this process, and like just didn't get anywhere with it. But I ended up eventually learning about the image containers and the process stuff, and those work really, really well for what it is. Just be aware of just how powerful your computer is and how long it might take, because it might lock you up for a while.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm on an M1 now, so like I think it would be a little better if I tried to redo this. But yeah, it was intense, and I was using other tools, like not we didn't have Blur Exterminator or Star Exterminator, any of these things that are kind of all the things that would do what all the other ones would do, but like in a more complicated set of steps. I think if I tried this again, now, it would be a little bit easier to process. Back then, after I got the final one done, is like I've been working on this for like 2 weeks straight. I have not been able to use my computer for anything else. Like I noticed some of those frames were a little out of order, but I'm gonna call it. I'm done. But ultimately, what I ended up doing is to get that final output was just going into Blink, and outputting, pulling in all the processed and aligned and annotated images, bump that little button down there, and output this. And if you're using FFmpeg, if you wanted to make it a movie instead of a GIF, you just do like MP4 or whatever, and it'll do that. Again, like you'll need to look at a little bit of the documentation on what command line tool is available to you on whatever you're using, but yeah,
that's pretty
FFmpeg,
cool.
I think, is the standard one.
I love that little movie in Blink. I love that. I totally forgot about that.
And when it does say crop here, crop and create video, if you zoom in, how do I get that back open? Like if you're zoomed in on something, and I think that's actually how I did that, the M10 and Juno one.
Yeah.
Was I just zoomed in on that section because the original image is actually green, and it's because I didn't know how to how to do the unlinked stretch on something, because if you do the linked, it would all be green. where is it? Let's look at this one. If you link it, and then this is one of the already cleaned up ones. But yeah, if you link it, it was always green. But if you unlink it, it's not green anymore. And that changed my life when I learned that. It was,
The unlinked
I was
stretch.
like, how do people see what they're trying to avoid with the DBE? Everything's just green. Like you have to run it first and then place everything and then undo it and then place everything and then run it again. I don't know. So hopefully some of those tricks will help other people too. Unlinked stretch. It will change your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very good here.
Also, learning about this execute script in global context.
Yep.
Made it so that I can have like separate
WPP
configurations for my different WPPs.
Yep.
So I can pre-process all my calibration frames separate from the actual integration stuff.
Yeah, and sometimes when you get into that, if you save it incorrectly, maybe you should show them the checksum error that you get with that.
Checksum error? I can show you what was wrong with. Well, I don't know about checksum.
Yeah, so when you double click on it, you don't open it in the global context.
Oh yeah, it
and
just
then there's
opens
an
a script
checksum
like
line right there, the second line on the top. Nope.
Oh, this one.
Yep, the MD checksum. Sometimes if people save it incorrectly, that's wrong. You would need to have to erase that and save it and do it. Don't do it for you. Yours are set right. But but sometimes you need to erase that if you're if it's not loading up in the global context, right?
Yeah. Another thing I learned too recently is if you have something that you open a lot and it's like you saved it and it's not the configuration that you want it to, like, maybe I want this to have this as my script.
God, I hope not.
You can no, it's not, but I'm showing you here. So you can drag that over and do that, and you'll get those little two arrows pointing at each other. That'll update that.
Right.
Because before I was dragging it, deleting the old one, renaming the new one, dragging them into place. No more.
Yeah, just make sure if you're gonna do that and overwrite those settings to the icon, if you want it for future reference, you need to save your whole icon set all over again.
Yep, you do. And then you would do right click
save.
Where is it? It's in here somewhere.
It's in there
somewhere. I didn't click on the things. Save selected icons. And then
you
I
save
just
it.
overwrite my old ones. And
overwrite whatever file you use and it'll save it for the next time. I've done that so many times where I would drag the process over to erase, put new settings in and forget to save the icons. I say, I swear I did this.
Yeah.
That's
lots of great tricks in
there. Yeah, that's some cool stuff.
There was a video that Helena Astro did, where she was I think she was processing the Pleiades, and I saw her she was doing she dragged this onto something, and I was like, okay, now I suddenly understand how Pixinsight works. None of that made any sense to me, and I was just always looking for, is it the square button or is it the circle button, and why is it sometimes a square and not a circle? Who knows? Yep. It's been a fun journey learning all this stuff.
Absolutely. But yeah,
I appreciate sharing this with, especially how you've discovered, how to track and point out these asteroids. I'm gonna have to watch this video again myself. I'm sure a lot of other people will as well, just so we can get the concepts down. And because you never know sometimes what you end up having. You may be shooting a target, then all of a sudden, but if you go through these processes and these steps, you may discover that you got an asteroid somewhere floating around in your image, or stuff like that. Or when you see that elongation that is nowhere else in your image, it's just that solitary elongation. and you just start investigating. I mean, kudos to you, man, and your
Yeah.
persistence to learn what more Pixinsight can do for you and give you. So that's really, really cool, man.
See, you know, Josh, I'm glad there are people like you out there, because it leaves less work for me, because I am a lazy person. so
I am too. That's why I was trying to find, either I'm writing a script to organize my stuff, or I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what's the easiest way for me to do this.
The most efficient and quickest way to get from A to B.
Yeah. Exactly.
I figure if it feels painful, there's probably a better way to do it, and I just need to know, has someone else figured that out, or do I have to figure it out?
Yeah, and usually you know, when you're looking for somebody that actually figured it out already, it's not the same exact thing that you want, so you end up doing it yourself anyway.
Yeah. And you follow a tutorial, and it's like, do this step, this step, this step, this step, and sometimes someone has something that they've programmed into their own, either their own brain or whatever, or into their process already, and so there's a step that gets missed.
Yeah.
That not everybody else is able to follow. So that at that point you're just kind of at a dead end. It's like, how do you get from point C to point E? What are those missing steps? And so, like, people would tell me to use, or you'd see something about using image containers, or writing a batch script. That's the thing you can do, but then you miss the that you can use a process container instead of a batch script, because a process container on an image container is a batch script. Like, that's all it is, except that there's there's not some programming in between to tweak some of those settings. So, like, you do have to make sure that the process saved in your container is set to the right things and everything. So there's a lot of, like, if you just go exploring, sometimes you just stumble on the right way to do something, but it can be really painful getting there.
Yeah, I eventually, if I ever retire from my job and I'm actually going to be able to make videos and everything, my goal was to just go right down the process list and say, what is ABE? And I would do a 2-minute video on what ABE is, and that's it. And go right down the list, and then go into the processes, which would be processes would probably be a little bit longer, but that's but that would be cool. But yeah, so you know what we got to do? We got to do a couple of things tonight. We need to do image of the week too. We got to do that.
Yes.
Before I forget, before someone yells at me.
They will yell at you.
Because I'm always ready to leave, and then somebody throws in the chat, "What about the image of the week?" Oh yeah, there you go. But don't forget that
before we move on to the next thing.
Yeah,
I wasn't able to really look at the chat. I'm wondering, does anybody have any questions or anything they want to
Yeah, definitely. If anyone has any questions
more about.
All I know is that Charity said something in the chat, and it just blew up. It just totally.
It just exploded.
And it's still going. It's still going.
It's like, what the moist?
Everything.
Moist
Everybody is talking. She was supposed to type most, and they started making fun of her because she typed moist, and now it's moist everything.
Now it's moist everything.
I was watching either a video or a chat somewhere. Someone mistyped magnetar as magentar. Like, I get those in my pictures.
Nice. That's awesome.
So like with my, I don't know what the deal is, but like after and it might even only be this year, but like all my pictures with my DSLR ended up with like overblown magenta cores in the stars.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Such a pain. And I've like figured out kind of ways to do that or to fix it. But I think I'm wrecking other things when I do it. Like I've been using repaired HSV separation.
Yep, you can do that.
That does a pretty good job of rebalancing everything, and that worked for a long time. But like, I think it might have been also like messing with other parts of the image.
Probably does. Just like when you do like the SCNR inverse trick, And
Yep. You want to make sure you don't get all of the
you got to make sure that
I
you're
was
masking
like, I have
right.
images that are like totally pink, and I don't know why everything's so pink, and it's because I did SCNR too early in the process.
Yep.
And I'm finding that like if I do like I'm starting to do noise exterminator after the stretch now, and I'm feeling like I'm getting better results with that versus
I believe Russ or somebody, I think maybe Sean said, yeah, he does it after the stretch too. I remember right.
Because it was if I did it before the stretch, first you get the STF doesn't know what to do with it anymore, and it's just overblown everything. But then also like it's I think there are certain things that are just introduced into the picture when you do it, like certain gradients or something in how it smooths everything out.
Yep.
And those get really accentuated in bad ways after you stretch that. So I've been finding I have to do that, saving the noise exterminator for after the stretch.
There you go.
I found playing around with a couple of mine, before stretching. Yeah, it's like I don't know what the heck happened. It's like totally like it's got like super gradient on it. It's just wacky. But then if I do it after, then it looks much better. And then but it's I'm still learning. It's all good. And Russell, he's made some great kits out there, these exterminators. But yeah, you gotta be cautious.
Lightly touching.
Yes.
Now that I'm using a new camera and filter, I'm like feeling like I have to refigure out my entire
you're gonna have to relearn some things. Yeah, you must have learned what you have learned.
Sometimes it gets disheartening sometimes too. It's like I thought I knew how to do this, and then all of a sudden I feel like I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
It's
goes through cycles.
Yeah, and you know what? In BB-8 cup, nice. But once you move to a cooled camera, things get changed, processes get changed. You don't have to worry about the dark problem for the most part. You just got to take them. You can take them on cloudy nights and not waste.
Do you remember when I first got my my new mount? I started trying to take 10-minute subs, and I was like, that was a mistake, because I took my first 10-minute subs were in like negative 10 degrees Celsius weather, and like that didn't happen again, like ever. And so like, how am I going to take darks for this? Because I could not get them to reach that temperature again.
Yeah, definitely. You got to find something that you could use all year round. That would be the easiest way to do it. But
and I took a fan and stuck it outside, blowing cold air up into my rig under the cover to try and like cool it down, and it helped a little.
Yeah. But it's good. It's going to be a lot nicer of an experience doing a dark library, a flat library.
I can really just do them like once every few months.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm still doing flats after every session though, just to be safe.
I can't wait to take this out.
Just keep twisting. Just where is it? Just the screwdriver. Just keep twisting. Thank you. Keep twisting. Thank you.
Come on, man. I gotta show it all. Look at this thing. Look at this.
That thing like weighs almost nothing.
Is that
the Pegasus Astro Nix?
Pegasus harmonic mount. Yep.
Oh, harmonic. That's what I was looking for.
Yep. And
strain wave.
So the only thing I'm waiting for, this is completely useless right now, though, because I don't have a tripod for it, and you can't use it. No, I'm getting. And the EQ6R adapter is on back order, so I can't use it on my EQ6R plate yet. So hopefully, in a couple of weeks, I'll be able to use it. So So I know somebody was asking about the video.
All those spacer rings you got. And...
Yeah, exactly. let me grab my $3,000 of precise parts and put like one on top of the other.
Yeah, Frankenstein.
The 3D printer, and it'll change how you do all that stuff.
No, I am not raffling this off. You guys are crazy.
20 bucks. 20. Can I hit that?
I'd put in an entry for that. Oh. I did finally get the Lenovo.
Oh, you got it? There you go.
I thought you said there wasn't going to be a power supply for it, but
no, I found one. I found one for you.
Awesome. I haven't had a chance to hook it up yet.
Yep.
But
350.
It runs Windows, so I'll be using that for probably some planetary stacking.
I sent 4 out. One person did have a problem with the Windows load, but everyone else was fine. So I'm hoping that it was a glitch.
It's been a while, but I've installed Windows on things before.
Yeah, it's not hard. You can reload it if you want to, but the computer works fine. So
yeah, I'm mostly on Mac now. So like, if it's not supported on Mac, I just kind of don't get to do that. I know I can use like Boot Camp or something like that, but it's I don't know, it's more complicated than I feel like doing.
Tell Dead Hand the mount. Nope, I'm using the mount. I want to see. I want to. I need to do some stuff with this because this is actually mine. I bought this one. This is not going back. Where's he going? He's leaving me. He doesn't like me anymore. It's not going back unless if there's something seriously wrong with it. It's not going back.
There ain't nothing wrong with that thing except it's not over here. That's the only thing wrong with it.
Something was beeping at me and I don't know why. Oh, it looks like we're getting some clouds. Are you serious?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, he missed a double Jeopardy question.
It's just going to be a little bit worse guiding. That's all.
Yeah, well, it looks like it looks like it might have been just like a quickie thing, but that's okay. I'm doing my my horse head 2-panel.
Okay.
One with the 130. First mosaic, I figured I'd do it with 2 panels. I don't want to go crazy, so we'll see what it looks like. So going all the way across flaming horse head with 890 millimeters focal length. So it takes up the whole thing.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
You're finally getting some use out of that AP.
Hey, you know what? I just did another check on the flatness. I was in the teens on curvature, and in single digits on tilt. So nice. I'll take that all day.
Oh heck yeah!
All day.
You take that. I take that.
Now you know what's going to happen. Once I run another one right now, it's going to come up like 50% curvature because I'm on the show.
Not supposed to talk about it.
We don't talk about curvature and tilt. The one thing about Tilt Club, you don't talk about Tilt Club.
Yeah, you you only talk about the Moist Club.
Yeah, talk about the Moist Club. God, charity.
Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. It really is. Oh, why?
Oh my God!
I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
It puts the moist on.
You don't need to.
Oh Lord, what's in the box?
Put the effing dog in the moistress.
Oh jeez.
Oh man.
Oh
Are
God.
those rails again?
Oh man. Listen.
Oh, gosh, this is Friday, dude. It is so off the moist.
It's been a week. It's been quite a week.
It's been a week. It really has. Eric has had work stuff all week that he's been pulling his hair.
It's giving me a migraine.
I've been. I think I worked like 65 to 70 hours this week, and I still got to work tomorrow. so that's not normal. Usually I work half that, but what are you gonna do? You gotta do it. Sometimes when things break, you gotta go in and fix it. So
Nope, it's supposed to be planning week at my work, and it ended up being
Moist
deal with bugs.
I'm looking for. Let's see. I'm looking for. Where is it? It's under. Oh, I forgot to change my directory. Every picture that I've taken right now has been saved to a directory called C Flats. And so whoops.
That's not the right one.
No. Well, at least it's there.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'll open.
Save them all to dev null.
I'll open a random picture under C Flats. Or send Nebula panel 1. There we go. So let's see. We'll just open up one and see and measure all. And the answer is curvature 19.1 and tilt. I didn't have my tilt in there. The tilt is 5%.
Nice. All right.
I'll take that. No problem there.
I've got a sanity check question.
You sure?
So I have this solar filter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Astronomic.
And it fits. Yep. Well, it's Astro's app. It fits nicely on my Z130. I'm not ready to hook up the Z130 yet, but if I get clear days and not clear nights, I might want to be able to do something with it. So I'm thinking. So what I did is I printed off this adapter for my Red Cat. But my printer isn't big enough to print the full size of this thing.
Right.
So it doesn't fit totally well, but it fits mostly. Where's the camera? Am I gonna wreck my scope?
If it doesn't,
doing this, like it pretty much only if it will fall off. But it's always going to be pointing up, so it'll be gravity, assisted on here. Just wondering, am I gonna regret doing that? Do you think of anything I might be missing? Might,
because could it leak?
Well, if it leaks anything,
I don't think that'll be leak
it's gonna leak filtered light. You know what I mean?
Like the adapter on here is black. It'll fit pretty much the whole way. There could be a chance of light leak from the side. So that would be.
Norm says tape it on. Tape it on.
No, yeah.
Maybe. Like if I just had a slightly bigger printer, I would be able to get this.
Can you put like some like a felt ring around the side of that and stick it up?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Foam.
If you had some felt around, and you could.
And then you can kind of use it like a gasket.
Yeah, so it's like really
a little thick.
But it compresses down to really thin. Actually, like it can go, like I can squeeze it to practically nothing thick. So that might
even be better because it'll expand.
Yeah,
as you put it
that's
in.
probably the way to go.
Yes, it'll expand it. Yeah.
All right.
Something like that.
Cool. Make that work. Yeah, light leak wasn't something that I was feeling concerned about, but I didn't think to be concerned about it.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah, you can definitely just cut that down. Because you're using it over your Red Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just cut that down.
And like the adapter fits. Like this is adapted from. I took this. It's like on Thingiverse. It's for an Illumaglow, like 5-inch, 6-inch light panel, and they actually have the plans for it and an adapter for a few different ones, but they had one for Red Cat. And so I just took that, like reworked it in Blender and printed it out so that it would fit, because it's actually 2 parts snaps together. So
that's cool.
But yeah, so it's like the exact right fit to fit over the Red Cat. And then I just needed it to be wider, as wide as my printer would make it, so that it would fit
that's pretty cool.
The solar filter without having to, without potentially scratching the filter glass. So
Cool. All right, well,
we'll use that
let's we need to do the Masters of Pixinsight giveaway.
Yep.
We
And
need to do the image of the week. Did we do image of the month last week?
No.
I fell asleep during the show last month.
Oh,
I didn't even know the wheel was fun.
Ah, you
I
fell
was tired,
asleep.
I was listening to it, but I fell asleep on it. And that's why when I asked about it, whether we missed the wheel or not, I was really confused. I didn't realize I had actually fallen asleep.
I know we did the week, but I don't believe we did anything as far as.
No, we didn't. Dave said we didn't. So, all right. So let's do the picture of the week now. Actually, let's do the Masters of Pixinsight spin first. How about we do that?
Yeah.
Let me just pull it up, and Mars Cam giveaway still, and Masters of Pixinsight. Here we go. All right. And here we go. So Masters of Pixinsight. So I believe we still have 146 members in there. So let me get my magic pen so I can write this stuff down. And I almost dropped my dinner plate. There we go. All right. So Masters of Pixinsight.
How many? 100 and what?
46.
That is amazing.
146 people. So next class is coming up in a week from Tuesday. So get ready to go on to that. That's a WBPP deep dive. And the winner is Al.
Ow!
Al, the MOP. Congratulations, Al. I'll send you an email.
Yeah.
I think you've won before, so you know the deal.
Yeah.
Pete will get back to you and let you know how to redeem your Masters of Pixinsight class. So congratulations to Al.
Congrats, Al.
Pretty sure I'll be going to that one. I didn't. I paid for the one that they did last time.
WBPP or no?
And so I think the WB.
Then you should have
deep dive.
access to this for free. So
yep, you don't get on their wheel during if you're
right.
not
Yeah, if you're repeat,
yeah.
you don't get on their wheel. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and let me pull up the website here, and we'll take a look at the two contests, the picture of the week and the picture of the month, as we didn't do that. I thought we did it, and I guess we didn't. Wow.
Did I vote for picture of the month?
If we did, then I apologize. The voting's been closed for a week, so I mean,
has it? Okay.
Yeah, it closes.
If I missed it, I missed it.
Let's see. All right, so here we go. So picture of the month for December. Yeah, okay. So that ended. Yeah, we did that. There was only 12 votes. It ended on the 13th, but we'll go over it again. January 27th, 95 votes. 95 votes.
That's awesome.
That's second highest ever. So
thank you, everyone. That's awesome. That's what we love to see. Love to see the participation.
And you know what the funny thing is? I tried to vote twice, and the IP blocking his work. It wouldn't let me. So,
well, you know that these are one click, one vote. That's it.
All right. So January, we had a lot of good images here.
Yes, yes, they were.
We had the Tadpole by Kevin. We had the Triffid by Dylan. And then we had the Rosette by Dave Schaefer.
Great.
M33 by Hogarth. And the Horsehead by Tom Peter. So this has 94. We actually have 95. But they are all awesome pictures. So nice job to everybody.
These are all worthy of being winners.
The bar has been raised so high since the first couple. It's been incredible. So, all right. So here we go. You ready? I want to see if this works. I'm going to see if this works. Ready? So let's see if I could do this. And react. And let's see. I don't know if anybody heard that, but okay.
Here's the drum roll.
Yeah.
No.
Nobody heard it?
I just saw you click drum.
It didn't work. All right. It worked on my ears. It didn't work anywhere else. Anyway. All right. So here we go. All polls, January 27th. The results are in. And it is. Which one is that? Taken with the Quattro.
That's the Triffin, I think, isn't it?
That's
Taken with the Quattro.
Quattro,
Yep, that was
250p.
Bloodstone.
Yeah.
Dylan. Yep.
That was the
Dylan.
Triffin.
Hey, Dylan, put your name in the description next time, okay, man?
Yeah.
Come on. So, Dylan, congratulations.
congrats.
I voted for that one, and for me, it was a tough choice between that and the horse head.
Yeah.
Love the detail and depth in the horse head. The Triffid one gives me like it has like a retro feel to it.
Yep.
I feel like an old Star Wars,
It does.
movie poster or something, and it like brought me back to like flashback of this. It was like one of my favorite books from when I was a kid. Like just like it kind of has that artistic painting style to it. Really nice work.
Yeah.
Right. I could have sworn we did the December picture of the month, but if we didn't, we'll do it again. I want to see which the pictures are. So the pictures were, M1, and this is the fossil footprint. This was whatchamacallit? The tarantula.
Okay.
M82 and Malot 15. I know they're small there because I don't think they're on here anymore.
Nails.
Are they still on
I
here?
feel like tarantula
they are
is
still on here.
cheating.
They're still on here. So there's the crab, fossil footprint,
Mm-hmm.
tarantula.
Tarantula feels like cheating.
No, it's
Just too beautiful.
M80,
No,
M82.
not like no. It's
I hear you.
such a really cool picture and like hard to get, because I don't know. I'm northern.
Yep. And Malot 15. So we only had 12 answers on this. We only had 12 votes on that. So when the voting comes up for pictures a week, everybody vote. Everybody vote. But here we go. So picture of the month goes to, with the 12 votes, goes to, drum roll please, Malot 15 by Dave Schaefer with 5 votes, followed up by the tarantula with 4.
Wow.
There you go, Dave. You are the first picture of the month for the 2024 calendar. So congratulations.
Congrats, Dave.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Really love the
Well deserved.
diffraction spikes on that one.
Yep. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Awesome. Whew. Nice show, man. Great job with all our presentation, Josh. Nice. Very cool.
Yes.
Very cool. Very eye-opening as far as what some of the things that Pixinsight can do. Definitely. It's
I'm just glad I could find some of the pictures this today. I was like,
that's all right.
This afternoon, and I was like, I got to make sure I still have those around somewhere.
That's okay. But you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? I had the same feeling at the last show last Wednesday with Craig about, oh my God, look at what Photoshop can do. I was like, I knew Photoshop was able to, do stuff. I just don't use it. And, it's obviously that there's more Pixinsight stuff that we could also use to find with the annotations and all that. It's pretty cool. So
It is. It really is.
yep. Everyone's gonna go asteroid searching now, thanks to you.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just look for those little streaks in your pictures, and now you know how to figure out what it is if you find them.
whenever
I'll say
somebody,
when I tried to do the second night of imaging on Masinga there, it was really hard. It was a lot fainter
yeah,
where it was, and like, but I was able to, and I didn't know where I was supposed to be looking to. I had estimated it, and I finally was able to like track it down. And this was before I had done that before I had actually figured out how to do the annotations to figure out what I was looking at. So I was still just trying to figure out,
nice.
if I could get it again. But yeah. Figure out that planning. Remember that they go in an arc.
In an arc, yep.
Yep.
But
And if you do figure out how to submit stuff to Minor Planetary Center, please let me know.
Yeah.
They do require 2 nights.
Hey, it's gonna be cool, and I wish I had the skies to do some certain things. Literally, I spent the last 3.5 weeks in rain and clouds, and now it's February almost, and it's for me it's witch head season now, because February is when it starts to get high enough over my house so I can get it. And so that's my plan after this, because the horse head right now I could start early, but it skims the top of my house. I only get about 3.5 hours before it kind of goes behind the house. And so even though an imaging project could, if I had all night, I could get it in 3 or 4 clear nights. This has been taking me, a couple of weeks. So
yeah. I've been feeling a bit stressed because like I started trying to catch for the horse head like right when I was able to start catching it.
Yeah.
Especially with a new camera and like a new focus on everything.
Sure.
And I feel like by the time it stops being so cloudy, it's going to be out of range, because I have a big tree here, and I've got houses and other big trees over here, so it's like not as much of a range for how low that is on the sky. But yeah.
Yeah, because right now,
literally
right now, the horse head has about. I got a custom horizon on Nina, so I have about 22 more minutes left before it goes behind my house, and then I'm done. At least with that part, it's got, But I could always go to another object if I wanted to, but
it's nice to be able to spend a whole night on one target. But I've been trying to shoot so many southern targets. I just, I have to end up splitting it.
My problem is my north is shot with the telephone lines. The telephone lines are right there. So forget the north, forget the west. I get the east and the south. That's what I get. And that's it. So I got to wait for things to go that way until I figure out a way to chop down those telephone lines.
I'm kind of the opposite, where I get mostly north, and the south. My house kind of blocks. I can get maybe 30 degrees. If anything above 30 degrees in the south, I can grab for like, I don't know, maybe 4 hours.
Yeah.
Before it goes over to another side of my house, and then it starts to set, and decline. But a lot of my stuff is a lot of northern, because I have a much clearer and more open northern view than I have in. I've got a huge my neighbor's huge tree blocks a lot of my east, and as well as on the west. I've got trees on the west. So
yeah, I mean,
I used to be setting up.
What's that?
I was gonna say I used to be setting up in my backyard, and like there, it's pretty much I get east to west straight overhead pretty clear. I get pretty good amount of north, not too low on the horizon. But I started setting up, like my setup is in the front yard now, which is riskier, but it's a much wider range. Like I couldn't do southern targets at all in the backyard because of all the big trees and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty good set of it.
I think
but
I
also
figured
have
out
lights.
about that little streak with all the stars looked like Saturn. Remember that? You know, it had little.
Oh yeah. Oh, have you figured that out?
Apparently, the new phone line that they put across the top isn't wrapped, so it reflects the light of everything that goes through it. So it splits everything. So it's not like it's all the wires with the black coating. I'm fine with it. It's silver under there.
Yeah, it's the reflective,
and it reflects everything through that. So if I'm shooting through that wire, it literally, it's a mess.
Okay, that doesn't seem like it's the same thing that I'm seeing with the Saturn rings, though, because it's like I'm pretty sure those targets that I was hitting were not obstructed at all. So it's not diffraction or anything like that.
No, I'm talking about the problem that I had with the I thought it was a camera, and then I thought it was backspace.
Yeah.
You know, but
it
literally looks like a bulgy star in the middle and spikes on the sides for a little bit. That looks like a diffraction spike, really.
Oh, okay. Because I've had one where it was not a diffraction spike, but like bright stars look like they literally have Saturn rings around them.
Oh no. Mine wasn't like that.
Yeah. Okay.
It was literally
I'm still not sure what's going on with that.
Literally like a little line going across.
Yeah, I'm worried my sensor on my camera might have just been getting burned out or something.
Well, I'm gonna.
It could just be that like the DSLR being used that long with that, like the temperatures that it was.
I'm gonna call the electric guys that put it up there, and I say, "Yo, this is a danger. This thing is wrapped. It's not wrapped. You need to wrap this thing."
You should.
Because you know what? I used to be able to image through those lines and just crop out the ones or throw out the ones as the scope was going through the telephone lines. You know what I mean? And just throw them out. I would lose about a half an hour or so, but so what? You know what I mean? Who cares? It doesn't matter.
But I haven't, Carol's asking me, have I been able to get out? I haven't gotten out in weeks, to be honest. I mean, I've just been either work or it's just been really bad weather, lots and lots of clouds here where we are. And it looks like it may be, even right now, it's clear, according to Windy, it's clear. I haven't been outside, because the storm's passed, but it's wind. Now it's like 17 to 20 miles per hour.
Too much.
Yep. Yes, too much. Even with me being, having a fenced-in backyard and having certain trees to help with the windbreak, it's too much. I'm gonna build one of those. I tried it at one point. You remember when I tried to build, but I used PVC instead of EMC.
Yep.
And I got to buy some EMC and maybe like some 1 inch or 3/4 inch, and rebuild it and build myself like a skybox, to help deal with the wind, because I still have all of the like tarps and everything, and windshields and windbreaks. I just need to just invest in the conduit until I can get an observatory going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that you're setting up like kind of shower curtains type of thing with PVC?
Yeah. It's kind of I was watching Oki. Somebody did this. Did a video when they were in Okitech and created what they call the skybox, which it was like a 7 foot in height, 10 in length, like 10-inch box, 10-foot box rather, and 7 feet high. And then they put that fence wrapping around it, like windbreak around, and to help, deal with. It's like a really inexpensive way to help deal with the windbreak, and just right around your gear and I'm gonna go and try it again, because I used PVC at one point and it was good. And for like a week it was great until we had and I had it all tied down and everything was great until we had a really bad windstorm. Storm go through with wind.
You got a pretty good sail on that, and it'll just crack it. Yeah,
it just snapped and cracked everything. So
I've got I've got one of those patio like awning umbrellas. It can like stretch. It goes down and it goes up. It's big, hexagon thing or whatever. I've got that set up like between my scope and the street lights that it points at. Like if I'm pointing south, I'm pointing at street lights basically. And so I got that blocked to block all of that, or a lot of that extra light. Helps a bit, but it's still, it's not perfect.
Yeah.
But when it gets too windy, that's also a sail, and it just blows right over. But it's not on the ground. It's weighted down, so when it tips over, I just can go pick it back up again. And it's far away from my scope that I don't need to worry about it being damaged.
Yeah, I had a nice long conversation with my wife yesterday about light pollution. She's like, I don't understand this whole light pollution thing. Can you explain it to me? So I spent
bad for everything.
Me too.
I don't remember the podcast, but I was listening to one where they were saying like light pollution just in the atmosphere, with like CO2 and stuff in the atmosphere, it like emits and reflects off of other things in there, and it ends up heating things even more just by like there being light pollution.
Yeah.
With like pollution, other pollution combining and everything.
Yeah.
So it's the whole thing.
Yeah, because like it was like last year, I actually went over to two of my neighbors' homes and knocked on their door asking them to kill their patio lights. And it's not like they're not out there. It's just they have the lights on just to have the lights on. I'm like, you guys want to burn electricity, just do it in your own house, but just do me a favor, kill the patio lights, because you're killing me. I'm trying to get some stuff done, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm an astronomer. I'm an astro imager." They're like, "What's that?" That's what killed me. They're like, "What's that?" I'm like, seriously, it's the sky. I need to take pictures of the stars.
One thing I did last summer, I went and like my garage has like automatic like motion sensor lights on it.
Yep.
And like if you triggered those, they'd be on for like 10 or 15 minutes.
Ugh.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
I figured out that there was a little knob you could turn
switch
to make it just be a little bit shorter and maybe turn down the sensitivity a bit. So now it's only on for like a minute.
Nice.
Which is fine. It's like it's on as long as you need it and not any longer.
Yeah, so now I've got to probably go to Home Depot or Menards and buy some, start spending more money on conduit so I can build up this skybox and, but not doing it in this cold. No, thank you. I'll wait until spring.
No.
I'm not building this skybox right now. You can forget about it.
Oh, man.
Well, it's been a great show, guys. It's been, a heck of a week.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody. I was like, I see 37. We only have 30 people watching now.
Nope.
We had 37 likes or thumbs up in YouTube, and I'm sure we had hopefully just as many in Facebook and everything. So appreciate the support, from everyone. Really, really appreciate it.
A great show and a great presentation. Thank you so much, Josh.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's been really nice hanging out too. Instead of just being part of the chat.
Oh yeah, and so don't forget, March, the end of March, will be our next one. So we're looking for the next victim on the member shows. So come on down, and hopefully the chat will be not as moisty. And
right now, I'm going to nominate Charity to be the next guest on the show.
Yeah, there you go.
As payback for all this. Nice chat.
There you go, Charity. So it's the ball's in your court.
That would be awesome.
She's like, hello. she's just
I
laughing.
think she's checking it out.
She's like, yeah.
She's like, yeah, y'all have a great night now.
Yeah,
Bye.
right. Peace out. I'm out of here.
Like, bye. Yeah, that note. All right, guys.
All right, Phil. Wait, what? I have nothing intelligent to talk about. Sure you do. It's okay.
Oh, you sure you do.
Everybody's got something to say.
We're also going to maybe next week I will do a another presentation. I've got an idea or a thought on a presentation. So
he's got an apostrophe.
Highlight, you know. What? An apostrophe? Trust me, whatever my presentation is going to be, it's going to be the moistest.
Absolutely.
The moistest. It's going to be super
Dealing with humidity.
Oh,
exactly.
And if you want to know more about humidity, I'll send you my song. So
that's good. Need some desiccant caps over here.
Yeah, really.
I did a what was this song I did? The sounds of silence I did, and I did it The Life of Astro. It's all about humidity. half written by Mike Y in the chat. So but I couldn't put it on YouTube because I would have gotten a copyright strike. So
yep,
definitely
Copyright strikes.
Yep. All right,
yeah.
so
if you do go to my video, or if you want to see the video, that hype
with
video,
the music,
with the music, it's from I credit it and everything in the description, so maybe that's fine. It's probably fair use, right?
I guess.
I don't know. I can like drop the link to that, or if you just go, if you can find me on YouTube. Just gotta figure out what I'm Shecky Bobo on YouTube, same as my AstroVin account. And you can go there, check out. They've got a couple of astronomy. Sorry, it just started playing in my headphones. A couple of astro things, some old anime music videos that I made, and some a few stop motion Lego things that I did too. So go there for
so
a little bit of fun.
What's the name of the video?
Shecky Bobo on YouTube. I'm not sure how to.
What's the name of the video? Oh, Juno Transit, right? Is that it?
The Juno Transit one, yeah.
And share, and I'll put that in the chat for you.
Cool.
It's the nope, that's not it.
How do I get to
copy? Try that again.
My videos.
There we go. That's the link to the video. And then you can definitely check that out there. So
yeah, there it is. Cool.
And what do we have next? What's next week's guest? Who's next week's guest?
Next week's guest?
What is that? February 1st, Wayne Parker.
Yes, Wayne. Looking forward to that. That's on your birthday too, man. So
yeah, man.
Yeah.
So yes, cool. I will be drinking whiskey that night. So
very cool.
I'll be on mute most of the night. So
Wayne, let Wayne do the talking, man.
Oh, and he will.
Oh, I know.
Love
Trust
that guy.
me, Robin and I have been debating going back and forth, and she's already said, that I'm going to get an observatory. Just a matter of which type and when. And when the S came out, I was like, all right, but yeah, it's probably not until maybe late 24 that I could probably end up getting one, because
start putting away money, man.
Yeah, no. But I'm just saying, I can start putting it away because it won't be ready to go until like sometime in late 2024.
I think he's, but you know what? I think he's only like $500 to $1,000 down to get in on the list. So
yeah, it's not much. It's not much to get started. It's just I'll be waiting for like almost a year, 2 years to get it, but it's all good. It's all good.
Dylan wants to know when's your son coming home.
I know, right? Because he'll be here. Next
soon,
month. He'll be here later next. Yeah, he'll be here late next month.
Yeah,
I know, right? June. Yeah, it'll be Christmas in July.
There you go. All right, fellas.
All right, guys.
Well, come on.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Josh. Great job as usual.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And you come on Wednesday and hang out with us. And Wayne Parker, I'm sure Sean will probably make an appearance as well because they live near each other. So we'll see what's going on. So everybody, have a good night, and we'll see you Wednesday night. And remember, as always, keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And we'll see you Wednesday night. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Did you finish that?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate you. Oh, God. Goodbye.
Fidget.